Do you sometimes struggle with what measurements to take? And even though perhaps you've taken good measurements, the garment doesn't fit exactly like you would want it to fit. As a dressmaker, I definitely take my clients' measurements and I take my own. But once I have a sloper and the sloper fits me the way I want, or my client's sloper fits the way I want her sloper to fit, that's really all I need. And what I do is every once in a while, especially if I haven't seen someone for a while, I measure their bust, waist, hips, and high hip again, just to see if their weight has changed. The secret to taking good measurements is to know where to measure. And it's not quite as straightforward as you might think. If you're measuring for yourself, what you want to do is take a piece of tape and put it down your side. Start at your ankle and bring the tape right up the side all the way to the underarm and see if you can make it perfectly perpendicular to the floor. You'll do that on both sides of the body. A dress form has a seam. It has this seam on both sides. But starting at the ankle, align it. If you start at the ankle and use tape or ribbon straight up the body, painter's tape is a wonderful thing to use. For the waist, if you're measuring yourself and you're not exactly sure where your waist is, bend to the side and the crease there at the side or the smallest part of your body is the waist. Some people are straighter up and down, so in that case you can decide exactly where you want your waist to be. This has a tape at the waist, but just so it's more visual, I'm wrapping this twill tape around at the waist. So first we'll take the major ones, the bust, waist, high hip, and hip. Measuring for yourself or your client, make sure that they have the appropriate underwear on, whatever they're going to wear under the garment that you will be making for them. And you want to start your tape measure in the center of the tape on one side. Bring it across the fullest part of the bust to the other side seam. And if you're measuring yourself, do this in front of a mirror so you can see the measurements. Mark exactly what the measurement is at the side seam and then follow it around the back. Keeping the tape parallel to the floor. And now you have the full measurement. You'll do the math. You'll have the full measurement, the front measurement, and the back measurement. You'll find that some people, even though they're big busted, much of their measurement is across the back. Many people that are big busted have small backs and vice versa. Now, a lot of people will measure under the ribs the same way and right under the arms. Those are not measurements that I usually take unless I'm making a very fitted garment. The next measurement is the waist. So first, I started at one side and measure at the bottom of the twill tape. If you measure at the top, your waist will be shorter than you want it to be from here to here. So measuring from around to one side. Note what that measurement is, right in the middle of the twill tape. Bring it around to the other side so you have a front and a back measurement. We'll do this for the horizontal measurements. The front of this one is 14 3/8 and the back is less than 13. So see, if you use a commercial pattern and you split your waist front and back the same, it may not fit you properly. It may pull to the back or the front. Now, we have what's called the high hip. The hip is down here, the hip bone, and this is the waist. Right in between is the high hip, also known as the belly. And you want to be sure to measure that. You're going to find that the high hip measurement is usually much larger in the front than the back. So normally I go down about 3 inches, and what you might do also is mark how far down you go. If I go 3 inches, I mark on a piece of paper 3 inches down from the waist, and I take this measurement is 16 3/4, and the back measurement is 16. This dress form does not have much of a belly, but most people do. I do. I definitely have a belly that comes out right under my waist. So this is a very important measurement. And then the fullest part of the hips, and this is the tricky part. You want to find the fullest part of the hip and measure that. So I will take from the back all the way around, front and back measurement, full measurement, but also to make a garment hang straight, it must hang straight from the high hip, the belly. So wherever that comes out, you want to pull your tape measure out so that it falls as if you took a board from that belly and went straight down. The tape measure would wrap around that board. Also measure down exactly how far from the waistline that full hip is. If you don't allow for this, your garment will tuck in under the belly. So those are the main torso measurements: the bust, the waist, the high hip, and the full hip. Front, back, and all the way around. From the base of your neck, the bone right here at the base of your neck, you can feel it. Take your tape measure straight down to the bottom of the twill tape. That is the center back length. I measure from this bone, there's a bone at the tip of your shoulder, to the other side. I measure across the shoulders, this way. That's back shoulder measurement. I measure from what I call the neck to the shoulder tip. That is from the inside of the neck to the tip of the shoulder. You always want to measure the bust span from apex to apex. This one is 7 1/8 inches. For an arm measurement, I put my tape measure. You can use masking tape if you want, some kind of tape to tape it to your body if you'd like. But I start here at the bone, go down to my elbow, and then slightly bend your arm, just slightly. Note where the elbow is. Mine is 11 1/4, and then down to my wrist, which is 20 inches. I do the math. And so I have shoulder to elbow and elbow to wrist. I also take my bicep, go down to the fullest part of your muscle, make a muscle, and write it down. Now, many people take this measurement, this measurement. I find them very frustrating at times because when I go to put them on paper, if they're not exactly in the right place, it throws everything off. So once again, I make a sloper. The sloper is the best way and the easiest way to work with patterning. When you make a sloper, make sure that you have enough room in it to live. If you make it skin tight, then you will have to continually add ease for every garment. If you have it so that it has enough ease that you can move in and you feel comfortable in it, you can use your paper sloper as the basis for any pattern, unless it's a larger garment like, for instance, an overcoat or an oversized jacket. Then you would have to make it larger. You'd have to enlarge the pattern. But in most cases, a sloper that fits you well with enough ease is all you need to start your patterns. I hope this has helped. See you next time.